For more information on today's program, contact Erica Taylor Montgomery at threegirlsmedia.com. Now, back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on the Bay Area's business leader, AM 1220 KDOW.
Good morning and welcome back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW, the Wall Street Business Network. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and our topic is content marketing today. And our guest is Steve Farnsworth, who is with Jolt Digital Marketing. And you can find Steve online at stevefarnsworth.wordpress.com. That's stevefarnsworth.wordpress.com. So Steve, why don't we talk a little bit about some of the things that companies can keep in mind if they want to really implement a successful content marketing program?
I think the three things that I would want to share is, you need to, the first thing would be focus on your customer. Really understand what they want, not what you want to tell them, which is what most marketing people do. They talk about just them and their stuff from their perspective. But get into the mindset of your customer. Who are they? What interests them? I think that's really important. Number two, I would actually say consistent content is really important in terms of publishing on a regular basis. If you're going to publish once a week or a couple times a week, be consistent with it. People they get used to coming back to the same place. And the other last one is have a clear idea who you're writing to. Just have a clear idea who you're writing to. Those are the things I'd want to suggest.
Sure. And in terms of consistency, one of the things that I always recommend is that you try to post on the same day of the week and even at the same time of day.
That's great advice.
And that's not only good for your potential readers who would come back to your site on a regular basis to look for that content, but it also helps the search engines who learn to come back to your site and search for content on a regular interval. If they know you're posting on a regular day and time, they can actually learn to come back to your site at those intervals.
I think that's wonderful because it's just like we have TV, back before we had TiVo and all that, TV shows were at the same time, like your show is at the same time. People wake up in the morning and they go, I'm going to listen to the Marketing Punch. And they get up and they turn on the radio, and you have the same people doing that regularly. They're used to this, part of their pattern. And what you're talking about is the same thing in a digital way.
Sure, absolutely. So why don't we talk a little bit about some of the things that companies can do to get more mileage from their content and make sure that it has a really big impact?
Well, I think a lot of times people think we're talking about topics, and they'll do one topic and they go, I'm done with it. They'll do a blog post about the topic. And that's really thinking too small. You need to think bigger. And so let's take, for instance, that you have, you take an idea, and let's say you have an industry event. Let's say you have a conference that your industry has. And you can go to that conference and ask 5 questions around a certain topic, a theme, of 5 industry thought leaders. And so now you have those 5 interviews. Each of those 5 individual interviews. If you do it on videotape, you can publish as a videotape. You can then take that content and have it transcribed into text, and then edit that together, and you make that 5 posts that put all the questions number 1 together, question number 2 together, question number 3. You have 5 experts talking in those 5 blog posts. And then you can actually then put it all together into an ebook. And you roll those out over a 6-month period, and that's a lot of content. The idea is thinking about how can you look at the content in a different way? Video to transcribe the blog, to even doing podcasts. What can you do and use it different ways?
Absolutely. And, it's about leveraging a particular subject to its full depth and breadth. Another real easy example to get your head around, say you were going to write about Facebook, for example, which is something that we do at Three Girls Media and Marketing. There are so many different things that you could write about using Facebook for a business. It's not just one post. You could easily get a dozen posts out of that. And then, take each of those blog posts and turn them into a 2 or 3 minute video that you can post on YouTube and then embed on your website. And then you can even interview somebody from Facebook on those particular topics and use those videos and transcribe those as well.
That's a really good point. A lot of people want to make really big big things. You don't need a lot of content. If you have an idea that takes 1,000 words, break it up into 2 or 3 pieces.
Absolutely. Steve, thank you so much for being
Thanks
a
for
guest
having
on
me.
the show
Love your
today.
show.
You can find him at stevefarnsworth.wordpress.com. And coming up next week on Punch Media and Marketing Made Easy, we'll be talking about how to work with the media in round 1. And then in round 2, the topic will be how to use online PR to promote your company. That's happening next Saturday, 9 to 10 a.m. right here on 1220 a.m. KDOW. I'd like to say thanks to my guest producer, Kate Barton, as well as my studio engineer, Kevin Drury. You've been listening to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 a.m. KDOW, the Wall Street Business Network. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
You've been listening to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy. For information on today's program, visit 3girlsmedia.com. Again, that's 3girlsmedia.com. Join us again next time for another edition of Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on the Bay Area's business leader, AM 1220 KDOW.